Good morning. Give this a couple seconds to boot up. Hopefully it's working. Let me go see. Let's see. Alrighty. There we go. How do I mute this? There we go. And now I'm live. Good morning, everybody. It's 9:45, and I'm John Swanson, and we're going to start talking. How's everybody doing on this beautiful morning, Thursday, October 1st, 2020? We've got a harvest full moon in Aries, whatever that means. I looked into it just a little bit, and it's quite interesting. I say, people who don't believe in astrology and horoscopes, there's a great quote from Mr. Rockefeller, and it goes by this way: millionaires don't believe in astrology, billionaires do. So if you want to see your way to the path of success, take a little tip from a billionaire about astrology. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on this beautiful day. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm going to be honest. My heart's pumping. My hands are a little sweaty, but I'm happy to be here. I've been trying to psych myself up for this moment. I've been back in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to figure out what I'm going to do and what I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to bring something different to the table of everything that's going on in the world we're currently experiencing, which is quite contrasting at this moment. There's a lot going on, and well, we're just going to look at things differently. So thanks for joining me. I've got 3 different subjects to choose from. I've got one up here, and let's talk about words, the power they hold. 2, prosperity, are you prosperous? Or 3, the I am. Lots of different subjects to talk about. Nothing to do with really anything that the mainstream is throwing in our face currently, which is a nice break from the current reality. Wouldn't you say so? I would, and we need a break from it because right now it's a bit of a shit show. Let me see if jump over and see what the stream's looking like. Oh, nice. I got some thumbs up. I'm live. This is good. All right. Well, regardless of who's here, who's not here, this will be recorded and broadcast again live over on my YouTube channel, Phil Ossifer. This channel is about observing reality from different perspectives and coming from an understanding that we all of us hold a unique perspective on the reality that we're experiencing. And I think these 3 subjects that I've picked for this week's show kind of give light to different perspectives and different reality and how we perceive reality and how the tools that we use in this reality help mold and create it, and how our perceptions could either make us prosperous or lack of prosperity, or 3, what is the great I am? Let's see if we got anybody commenting. Nice. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. You're amazing. Fantastic. Thank you. Look at that. I can actually talk back. All right. This is great. Take a deep breath. Oh, so Thursday, back half of the week. Almost near Friday and off to the weekend. Not much plans this weekend, seeing as we haven't had much in plans for the past few months, and it's been all right. I've enjoyed the quality family home time. I had that prior, but the kids actually not getting up and going to school every day, is stressful as that was, as much energy as that takes. This is the most important time I could have with them, so I'm blessed and grateful for what is taking place. However, there's a lot of people that are here now that are experiencing things completely different. So let's bring some joy and happiness to the world that we're in and look at some things on a different level, shall we? We shall. All right. Well, I'm going to jump right in. Subject number 1. Let's talk about words and the power they hold. What do you mean? What do you mean about words and the power that they hold? Well, it all begins in elementary school. And before I dive into this subject, I want everybody to know this is not a conspiracy channel. There is no aluminum foil in this hat. If you're looking for any of that sort of stuff, you can come on over to the D-Train and Wanaconda show. We have a podcast that we usually post new shows every Friday and a multitude of subjects. Let me pull up that screen for you so you guys can take a look. Let's see here. Switch on over. I'm looking at myself. That's weird when you're trying to do it. All right. The D-Train and Wanaconda show. We've got a few different subjects. What are dreams? Everything in between. And the last couple shows we did, we went in and evaluated different music and different genres from different time periods. One of our videos got taken down because, she's all that amazing, Adele. However, you can find that show on Spotify or any of your favorite podcasts under the D-Train and Wanaconda show. Then we have the We Didn't Start the Fire with Billy Joel and Ziggy Marley's Talking Reggae. That was a great song and a great show. And then I think one of my favorite shows thus far is the Alternate Reality show. It's a little long, a little deep, but we hit on a lot of the different subjects that I don't want to talk about on this channel at all because that's not what this channel is about. All right. Now, back to where we were. Let's talk words and the power they hold. Number 1, words are powerful. When you take the word words and you invert it, it spells swords. That's right. If you take the S and throw it over by the W, your words can either cut down an army or create a battlefield or a mansion or whatever you're trying to manifest, believe it or not. What do you mean? Well, when we go to elementary school, the first thing we begin to learn is our alphabet, the ABCs, all the way through Z. And then once we've mastered those ABCs, we begin to take those different letters and put them together to form words. And that action of doing that is called spelling. Now, this is a perfect time to talk about it because we're in October. Happy Halloween coming up soon. We got today's a full moon, October 31st is a full moon, and the witches are out. And what do witches do? Well, witches cast spells. That's right. Witches cast spells. And when you're in elementary school, and I think it's interesting, elementary school, the very element, the base foundation of setting up your understanding of reality, right? Being able to communicate and socialize and begin your education starts with words and spelling, and witches cast spells. And each word uses its own letter, and each letter has its own sound, and each sound is its own unique vibration. What are you getting to, Swanee Johnson? The reality that we're living in is electric, it's frequency, and it's vibration. Though we are in these physical bodies, it is a vibrational universe. And science can now show that at the molecular level of everything, it is not sitting still, it is vibrating. However, some things vibrate quickly, given light, and some things vibrate slowly, giving physical matter, right? Or the appearance of. Well, we use words to communicate, and each one of those words and each one of those letters casts out a vibration into the reality that we're existing in. So the words that we use have multiple meanings beyond the ones on their original definition that we were given in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, so on and so forth. When you begin to look at each word and each letter and the connotation of the words and the meaning of the words and where they've come from, they begin to take on a whole nother meaning. They begin to take on their own reality. For example, right now, we're being influenced heavily by the media, right? And I learned this one recently. I had my own preference on the word media and why do they call the media the media. My idea was I compared it metaphorically to an artist. When an artist goes out to create something, whether it's a sculpture, whether it's art, whether it's a tapestry, whatever the art is that they are going to create, the tools that they use or the products that they use to create their art is called what? The media, right? Oh, so the art, what the artist wants me to interpretate, they do by using the media, okay? And then I learned about the Greek goddess of illusion, and her name is Medea. It sounds a lot like media. So when you go back through time and you look at some of these words that we use in today, they bring on a whole different meaning from 100 years ago, 300 years ago, 500 years ago, 2,000 years ago. And we're still utilizing those same words and meanings today. However, our understanding of them is not the same as what is being shown to us. Crazy, right? I know. Thank you. Thank you. Beyond media, which is heavily in all of our faces, it doesn't matter if it's mainstream, lamestream, anywhere and everywhere you go, words, images, and thoughts are being broadcast upon all of us, whether it's a billboard, whether it's a street sign, whether it's a garage sale sign, no matter where you go. Even when you're all by yourself on your phone looking at something, ads are being shown to you. Words are being shown to you. Ideas are being shown to you. Thoughts are being placed upon you. And it's time we become aware of these things. Are my thoughts my own thoughts? Or are these somebody else's thoughts? Is this something that I resonate with? Or is this something that I don't resonate with? And if I don't resonate with it, why? And that's a great question to have. And when you have that question, then you need to go seek the answer to it. Not just, it is what it is because it's always been that way. That's absolutely not true. Our parents have told us that, and our grandparents have told us that, but I absolutely don't believe that. I know it to be different, and I know that we have had our individual power held back from ourselves, and we've been thrown into these metaphorical boxes that don't exist, and we utilize words to either create things or destroy them daily, and we're not even aware of just the meaning of speaking and how we speak to one another and how we speak to ourselves, how we think about ourselves and how we think about others. And each one of those thoughts, each one of those words, all hold power within the reality that you and I and all of us are experiencing. That's why keywords are always used on television or in commercials or on radio, and they're trigger words, and they either make you angry or they make you happy or they make you joyful, or they're there to trigger a response within your human psyche. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that these things are taking place? Because if you're not, just step back and look at it. It's not a bad thing to not be aware of it. I had to become aware of it. There's a great movie out there with one of my favorite wrestlers from my childhood, Rowdy Roddy Piper. And it's a great, great movie. It's, an outsider looking in on what they think Hollywood and reality would look like if we are blind rats. Which, if you go look at how much light, visible light we actually see, we're blind rats. But that's a whole nother subject. Back to words. I don't want to get sidetracked. You know what I mean? Right. In this movie, there's media everywhere. There's magazines, there's billboards, there's commercials, there's television. And each one of these images conveys a message, even though it has another subject matter on top of it. Let's say, for example, drink Coke, drink Diet Coke, drink Pepsi, drink 7-Up. It's all sugared soda water. I still love this stuff, which is horrible for me, but I love soda pop. They all have their own unique flavors to them, but it's all about consuming the product in consumption, right? And it's everywhere. It's at all the sporting stadiums. It's at every restaurant. It's on every corner. Every famous person has gotten behind or been the face of these products and gotten out to sell them, right? These words that they use have no other meaning beyond consume, right? And consume, consume, consume. But once you become aware of that, then you are no longer triggered by it. You're not like, oh, I could use an ice cold Coca-Cola right now. No, you begin to take back your power when you understand the power of words and the vibrations that they hold and the reality that we're experiencing in each one of those letters and words that you say out or I say out puts a vibration out into reality, like a pebble into a pond, right? Either make it a big ripple or a small ripple, depending on the rock, depending on the size of the word. And what you send out is what is ultimately coming back to you, I, another, and everyone else. And so if we're thinking hateful things, or we're thinking division things, or we're thinking things that are not uplifting ourselves and not uplifting each other and not uplifting humanity in a whole, then the devil, which is lived spelled backwards, is winning. The lies of this world are winning because we think the thoughts that they want us to have are not our own, and we think we're separate from each other. And through this experience, we've created all these boxes through words and self-associations of things that do not exist except through our perceptions. And once you begin to understand that your perceptions are molding your reality, you begin to change the way you speak, the way you talk to others, the way you talk about yourself, the way you come across others, the way you meet and greet others. And words are very, very powerful. And each, I'm sorry I'm getting sidetracked, but something I just thought of is there's a Dr. Emoto. Let me see if I can pull him up. And he did an experiment with water and words. And what he discovered is absolutely 100% amazing. What he discovered is that words hold vibrations, and each one of these vibrations creates a geometric structure. And let me see, I'll pull up some images here. Here we go. Perfect example. The Science of Water by Dr. Masaru Emoto, Japanese scientist. And for example, this is imagined by John Lennon. Gracias. This is what heavy metal looks like. My Spanish is not, I know that's Mozart. Peace is what I'm thinking, and that is something negative there. However, this is a perfect example of what your words are creating within this reality. This is what the word thank you looks like in a geometric structure, right? This is the word thank you flash frozen in time, and this is what it looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. And when you change your perception on the world and you realize that each word that you have carries weight and power, you begin to restructure the way you think and restructure the way you think of others. And that's all in Japanese. Oh, there we go. And it's in English. Look, aloha. It's like a beautiful flower. Mahalo. Compassion. Wealth. Love for humanity. Truth. You're beautiful. Thank you. Love and gratitude. Happiness. Harmony. Absolutely amazing that he was able to utilize technology to look at something in our reality that we just take for granted, right? Water. And we don't realize that, or we're not taught or, known to become aware that, our bodies are 80% water. The world is a majority covered in water. Our brains are, primarily water. And we are what we consume. And if I'm water and you're water, and the words that we speak can affect the molecular structure of the water to either make a perfect geometric structure or to make chaos, you begin to realize that the words that are being shown to you, the words that you're saying, the things that you consume, mold and structure every portion of the molecules that are making you in this reality. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Science and religion, right? Faith, blind faith, and theory are running right next to each other, parallel, and they're getting ready to crash into each other because we who theorize or question the realities that we're existing in, right? Unless we can see it, smell it, touch it, taste it, or any of the five senses, if it's not with any of those five senses, then it doesn't exist. However, technology is allowing us to see beyond and perceive beyond the five senses, and the things that we have theorized, we are now able to validate through means of technology, which is incredible that we can now validate what we have theorized. But if you go back through history and you look at some of the great philosophers and the great thinkers and the great mathematicians and the great artists of our times, they were well ahead of where we are now. Even though they didn't have the technology, they just knew this to be accurate. And Nikola Tesla is one of the greats of our time, and he is the one who is quoted as saying our reality is electric, it's frequency, it's vibration, right? It's not physical matter, even though we're perceiving physical matter. So the words that we use and the things that we say are molding and creating the reality that we're experiencing, and vice versa. The things that are being told to us that we are then perceiving, right, or remembering or downloading or bringing into our temples or our bodies. When somebody tells you, oh, you're not good enough, right, and then 10 people tell you you're not good enough, but you know you're good enough, you know you're better than what they're doing at what they're doing, but they want you to believe that you're not good enough, you begin to believe that. And when you believe that, you change your entire reality and your outcome of reality based off of the perception of what somebody else has told you. And why did they tell you that? Why are they trying to disempower you, me, and everybody else? Disempower us, disengage us, divide all of us, right? The majority and the authority. And it's interesting, the word authority, right? Author. Who's the author of our life or your life, right? Is somebody else the author, or are you writing the story? Are you in charge of the choices you make? Are you in charge of the decisions you make and how you respond to them? Or are you being influenced by outside subject matter or other influences? Because all of us have been influenced. All of us have been deceived. All of us have had the wool, per se, pulled over our eyes, and the quote-unquote great awakening is upon us. And part of that great awakening is not realizing there's a bunch of deceivers and there's a whole lot of deception in the reality that we're in. It's becoming aware that there's a whole lot more, and we're on the cusp of grasping it and actually changing the world that we're in and letting go of all of these things that no longer serve us. And the power to do that is not in any sort of government, right? And government, why do they use the word government? And because in its etymology, right, in its base meaning, govern, to control, meant the mind. Why in the hell would we need mind control? Why would they call it mind control? Government? Oh, welcome to Earth. This is the country that you're in. This is the nation that you're in. This is the government that you have to follow the doctrine, right? This is the mind control. And then you realize, wait, why the government means mind control? And these people want us arguing, fighting, and against each other so they could do whatever the hell they want because we're fighting? We're not realizing that they can't just do whatever they want, but we allow them to do whatever they want because we just sit on the sidelines arguing with each other instead of coming together and realizing, holy crap, all 7.5 billion of us were chosen to be here right now, and all the time, space, and dimensions and realities and alternate universes and planets that exist within creation. We're here right now, conscious, aware, and awake of all of this is going on. Fuck, this is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And each and every one of us holds the power to mold and change the reality versus a third party that we have given authority to. We're the authority. You're the authority. I'm the authority. You are the hero and creator, and not only the hero and creator of your reality, we're also our own villains. are our own ultra villains. Every deepest, darkest fear we've ever had, it's all within us. Every dark, evil thing that could ever be thought of and ever be done is all within us. Right? It's the yin and the yang. It's the white and the black and the balance. And words can either mold us, or we can use those words to mold reality. I could keep talking about this and go on and on and on. However, I'm going to move on. All right. Thanks for listening. Number 2, prosperity. I feel bad for the weather people now, because when you try and do this, it's really difficult. But I'm doing. Oh, see? Whoop! There we go. All right. Number 2, prosperity. Are you prosperous? What is prosperity? Well, what do you mean by am I prosperous? That's a good question, because it took me a while to come to the understanding of what prosperity is and what is prosperous and why others appear to be prosperous and how I felt like I was lacking, right? And again, that was my perception of what was going on in reality, and I had to understand that, or come to understand that prosperity is a state of mind. It's not a thing that you have. It's not a thing that you buy. It's not a thing that you possess. It's a thought frame. It is a conscious state of mind. You know, where we are, we're blessed. I'm not complaining. Anything that we need is less than a mile away, right? We've got anything and everything we need here in the good old US of A, right? However, years ago, I was building water wells in different parts of the world that have way larger population than we have, and the means to provide clean running water to all of their citizens. However, people were still having to walk 5 miles one direction with a bucket on their head to ask the school if they could fill up their bucket from the well, which they're getting the water from Mother Earth, and then having to walk 5 miles back. And sometimes the school wouldn't even let them get water. So now you're walking 10 miles for nothing. And, you know, at the time it was, I think, 2014, 2015. So here we are in the 2000s, the 21st century. We have the information, the technology, the means to communicate with anyone, anywhere, instantaneously on the globe. And yet we still have not provided humanity with the basic means of clean running water and electricity. Yet these people who walk 5 miles in one direction to maybe get water or maybe not get water and then walk back, they're happy. What? What do you mean? Yeah, they're fucking happy. They're happy fucking people. They are not miserable. They are not ungrateful. They are happy. They are prosperous. They are joyful. They take each day and each moment for what it is, and they're happy for it. But the TV tells me that these people in third world countries are miserable and wants me to give them money to make them not miserable. And for all these years, we all have just, out of charity and the goodness of humanity's heart, given over billions and billions of dollars to these people in third world countries, where it used to be just 5 cents a day will help poor Pedro. Not what, 35, 55, 75 cents a day will help poor Pedro. So they've made sure to cover for inflation, yet poor Pedro is still poor, right? And I'm just giving one example. What? How in the hell is the globe that we're living in all of these first world countries, so prosperous? We have high rises, we have supercars, we have ultimate luxury, we got gold flakes on a damn ice cream. Right? What? We're eating gold flakes on ice cream? Hey, there's like $1,000 ice cream something bullshit that you could buy. And at the same time, we have such a contrast where we have people who are literally starving to death on the planet that we're living on. What? And at the same time there are people starving, we have people that are dying from obesity. Huh? How did we become so imbalanced as a species? And it's not our fault. Right? It's somewhat, a little bit our fault, right? We got to take on that responsibility that, yeah, hell, do I love some Doritos? Yeah, we all love Doritos. Are they good for us? No. Do we really want to give them up? No. Should we? Unless we can make the Doritos healthy and better for us, then we're probably going to have to pass on that shit. However, it was good while it lasted, but it's not good for us, right? And that's where we need to come, as each and every one of us, is about prosperity, right? What is our perception of prosperity? Because we have poor people who have to walk 5 miles one direction and back to maybe get water or not, with a 5-gallon bucket on top of their head. And then we have people who have bottled water of every different kind a mile down the street, a block around the corner, that are just ungrateful for even just being on the planet, right? For even being alive. They have everything they need. They have all the money, they have all the food, bills are covered, everything's good. They have what we would, perceive as prosperity, but yet they're completely ungrateful and unhappy. That doesn't sound like prosperity to me. It sounds like the inversion of prosperity, right? And that comes down to each individual. I personally had thought I was in a position of prosperity, and then everything shifted for me all in a moment, and everything changed. And I had to go through and realize what were the most important things in my life, what were the most important things in this experience. And the most important thing in this reality for me is, and for a lot of other people, and I think most people, is their family, right? Whether it's their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, their best friend, their adopted so-and-so, their kids, right? Their grandparents. We take pride in our family, and there's people that have no relationships with their blood family, but they have great relationships with people who aren't blood related but family. Well, what's the difference between all of us? If that's the way we feel about family, why aren't we loving all of us as one big family, right? It comes down to the idea that, okay, we have people who have an abundance here of this, that, and the other thing, and then we have people over here who have a lack of this, that, and the other thing. And well, we'll throw money at it to solve the problem, but the problem yet isn't solved. So what are we doing with all this prosperity that we've created here on planet Earth? And are we aware of how things are being shifted and moved? And we're being shown racism constantly, right? But the same people who want us to hate each other for how much melanin we have, or lack of melanin, which is natural sunscreen in our bodies, they don't want us to realize that the people who are providing us with our technology for our cell phones have a lot of melanin in their skin. They're all very young, and they're being forced to go into muddy holes in the ground to pull out crystals so we can have our cell phones and do what we do here. But the media, right? They're not talking about that. They don't want you to become aware of that. They don't want you to have a conscience about that. They don't want you to put down your cell phone and say, this is fucked up. Right? Why? The same people that want you hating everybody and hating these people that are your brothers and sisters in our giant family, right? In the land of prosperity and abundance, we got so much hate and division, but we're all one big family. We all need to come together and love one each other. Sure, there are people in your family that you just don't like how they do this or don't like how they do that, but at the end of the day, you love them, you forgive them, you respect them, right? Because Thanksgiving dinner is a whole lot better when you're all together than it is when you're by yourself. And we all know that. We've all had those times where we've been by ourselves on Thanksgiving dinner and it's lonely and we don't feel that connection. Well, we've all been put in a place of disconnection, and we're finding new ways to connect and new ways to uplift each other and new ways to create prosperity and abundance, because somehow, some way, some asshole got between you, me, and the fucking tree and said he owns the tree. Nobody owns the tree. Nobody owns anything, right? We have this idea that, I went and got this job, made all this money, and bought me a big ass house and a car, and it's my shit. It ain't your shit. You don't get to take it with you when you die. And I know all too well, my mom was an avid collector of all things beautiful. Fortunately, it was all things beautiful and not a bunch of shit from Kmart and Walmart that was on sale. But at the end of the day, the things that she loved and cherished, she couldn't take with her. And that also showed me, she had abundance and what she felt was prosperity around her, but she had a lack of connection with her family because she would rather have done things her way than to cycle the things through that she had created to others to bring in another form of abundance so she could go on vacation and see things. And I don't knock her one bit. Hell, that's one tough role to play. I'm proud to call her my mom, and I miss her, and she's been gone a year. But she taught me a lot of valuable lessons, and prosperity was one of them. And I'll tell you what, if you have clothing on your back, roof over your head, water, and food, you got everything you need. And if you know people who don't, try your best to help them, right? Because right now, there's 7.5 billion people on this planet, and we grow enough food for 10 billion people, and there's still people starving in America, in every country. It's disgusting, and it's all because we're not aware of it. We're aware of a little bit of it. They throw the numbers up on the TV commercials that 1 out of so many so-and-so are starving, and we don't have enough for this, enough for that. And then we take our money, we take our time, we take our energy, and we throw it over to these institutions and these parties to solve these problems. And then the people in there get greedy and see a way to take some for themselves and not take care of the problem and know that, oh, well, if we solve the problem, well, then we can't raise any more money. Fuck. I'm out of a job. Oh, shit. No. We're coming to a point in time where we're welcome to planet Earth. I'm glad you're here. Here's your home. Here's your food, here's your clothing, here's everything that you need to get started, because we as a species can create these things, not industries. Are we moving industry forward, corporations forward? Which, if you look at the word corporations, it's a dead entity. Are we going to move dead entities forward, or are we going to move humanity forward? Are we going to move the consciousness of humanity forward? Or are we going to take that energy, turn it into money, whatever we want to call it, and then throw it to a third party and say, you fix it? But it's up to each and every one of us, not that third party. Doesn't matter who is on it. It's up to us. It's up to us to take our power back. It's up to us to realize we're creating reality. It's up to us to realize the real lies. I go crazy, right? And that's a word connotation. Tupac. They took him out too quick. You can catch tidbits on that over on the D-Train and Wanaconda show. Not here, though. So prosperity. We have anything and everything that we need. There is no lack of it. There is only the lack of awareness of it. And yes, the things we've created, have we created a huge pile of garbage that we're responsible to clean up for? And no matter how much money we throw at it, that's not going to make it go away. We got to become conscious of how we consume products and better ways to consume products. And that's coming. It's all changing. And aside from going home and purchasing from Amazon, right? And funny, why do they call it Amazon? Of all the names that, called it, we have everything.com, right? But now they call it Amazon. Why do they call it Amazon.com? Well, what's the largest river in North America or on our hemisphere? Oh, the Amazon. And how did they used to transport commerce? On the river? Oh, shit. So the guy that owns Amazon.com figured out that he can control the movement of all commerce on this hemisphere. Holy shit. And right, why do they call banks banks? I always wondered that too, ever since I was little. Hey, Dad, why do they call banks banks? I don't know, son. Go play outside. Okay. Right? And it's one of those questions that sits there. Over time. What do they call banks banks? Oh, Amazon is a river. What do they call the edge of the river? A bank. So if you're moving commerce, or you're moving money, or whatever you're moving up and down the river, right? How they used to do it, and you needed to get it to the people, well, you had to go through the banks to get to the people. None of that's changed. Only our perception of that, right? Oh, Amazon, that's where you go buy shit. It's not I don't ever think of it's the largest river on our hemisphere. No, nope, it's just where I buy shit. And I get it same day. About to have that shit droned to my house, too. I think in Seattle, you can get wine to you in hours. Oh, the convenience. I love it, right? But there's more to it. There's more to it. And we have to go through the progression. We have to go through the changes. We have to go through these experiences, right? Because we can't really know what we want until we've experienced everything we don't want. We have all the things we need to be prosperous. However, we've created these tools that if you don't have enough of said numbers, right? If you don't have enough of these numbers, well, then you don't have enough for this or that or this or that. However, we have all the means and technology to build all these things, but if you don't have enough of these numbers, well, then you don't get that shit. What? It's got to change, right? It's just like, for example, cannabis. And I'll touch here just for a second because there's a lot of amazing people in my social network that are in the industry, that have been put through the fucking meat grinder in the industry, that know the ins and the outs, that can speak to all of that. I just want to touch on the point that we want to talk about legal, right? Let's legalize this. Let's make it legal. Legal means three things. It means controlled, regulated, and taxed. That's all legal means. Controlled, regulated, taxed. Doesn't mean balanced, doesn't mean fair, doesn't mean moral. And here we are throwing all of our human energy into legalizing a plant that was here long before we were, and our bodies were designed to utilize through our endocannabinoid systems. Was already here, and then a government comes along, the mind control comes along and influences us 100 plus years ago that this is bad for us, and if you use it, then bad things are going to happen to your women, and racial blah-de-blah and all the bullshit they use to make a plant seem scary, right? Now they're saying we need to legalize it. No. Legal, you need to tax, regulate, and control Mother Nature, the plant. Again, some way, some asshole got between you, me, and the tree. It said they own the fucking tree. They don't own shit. Right? And then we look at the word law. Oh, it's the law. This is the law. Oh, the law, right? That suits you, the system. Doesn't suit humanity, doesn't suit society. And why do they use the word law? Well, if you take it and throw it in the mirror, right, it spells wall. And here, we as humanity, as this super smart, super technology advanced species, society, have created all these walls through our words and understanding of words that, well, you're not allowed to do that, but I'm allowed to do that because this law that we agree upon says that I can do that, you can't. This shit's got to stop, right? We're not realizing that when we do that, we're giving our power, our authority over to somebody else to do whatever the hell they want that we're not allowed to do, even though we're allowed to do it, but we don't think that we're allowed to do it because we follow the law. Crazy, right? Words, amazing. I love it. All right. Wow. 45 minutes. Not bad, Swanee Johnson, for your first time. Good job. Thank you. All right, so, and I'm going to wrap it up with number 3, the I am. And again, this ties into words and the power of words and prosperity. All three subjects kind of intertwine amongst each other, right? What is the great I am? Well, I'm going to touch on the biblical aspect, not the religious aspect, the biblical aspect, right? We were introduced to the I am when Moses went to the burning bush, of which we could dispute, was it really burning? Was the bush really burning? Was it some sort of technology? Did he eat some funky mushrooms and see some shit and was like, man, I'm tripping balls. I got to get out of here. I'm going up to the mountain. You guys wait here, right? Come, just trying to make fun of it, right? Have some fun with it. Either way, talks to a burning bush. Burning bush says, yo, I need you to go tell Pharaoh, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like how you're treating the people of the city. I don't like how you're treating society. I need you to fucking change shit up. And Moses is like, I'm talking to a burning bush, man. I don't know if people are going to really believe me. But I'm willing to do it because here you are, a burning bush, and you're talking to me. It's incredible. So what do I tell Pharaoh your name is? That would probably help me, right? And the burning bush says to him, you tell Pharaoh, I am that I am. What? I am that I am. That's pretty powerful right there when you think about it. I am that I am that I am. What does it mean to you when you say I am? What are the first thoughts that come to you after you say the words I am? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they indifferent? Right? Because for a burning bush to tell Moses, all right, man, go down the mountain, get to Egypt, tell Pharaoh, Presidente, whatever, the man in charge, go back and tell the man in charge you were talking to a bush and the bush told you change your shit, and then tell him your name is I am. Whoa, holy crap, talk about a rough trip, right? I couldn't imagine, I wouldn't want to do that, right? But here we are, right? And we've created these authorities in our reality, whether it's a manager, right, or an assistant manager, or a shift worker, or whatever, any hierarchy, anywhere that you go, we've created this idea that, when you get your day off, it's, I'm doing whatever I want, fuck the system. But the night before you got to go back to work, it's, you're anxious, you're uptight, you can't do what you want to do because you got to go report to this false authority that gives you money, right? Currency, money, in exchange for your energy, right? That is never enough for you to cover your bills and get where you need to go, right? You're always struggling, scraping by, having to sacrifice, put things away for tomorrow. And then these higher authorities come along and they screw everything up. No big deal. We'll just go vote on $3 trillion. What? You're going to go vote on $3 trillion that we're going to suffer. But we are the ones that put you in the place that you're in. We're the authority, right? We are the I am. That's pretty powerful when you realize you are the I am. And I am the I am. And we are all the I am of the great I am. And like I said, when you think of the word I am, what feelings do you get beyond that? Do you feel excited and elated, or do you feel depressed and inadequate? Because those two different frames of energy make all the difference of your outcome in today. Those two frames of energy. You're either elated or you're depressed and you're down here, right? And then you got to find the middle. Because people are either looking to party and have a good time and just rage out way up here, or you have the opposite. I don't want to be around nobody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm depressed. The world is collapsing. This is horrible. Things are never going to get better, right? Or have the exact opposite. Burn it all down. Burn the motherfucker down. But we got to come to the middle. We got to have the singularity as humanity, not as technology. We got to all realize that we didn't evolve from some primordial soup into apes and then apes into humans and, YOLO. You only live once. This is the only chance you got. Right here, right now. Fucking balls to the wall. This is it. It's not. But if you believe that, it is. Crazy, right? So when I think of the words I am, and I've had all the feelings. I am disappointed. I am sad. I am frustrated. I am angry, right? Or I am happy. I am at peace. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. And when you realize that you are, and of all the things going on beyond what we're experiencing in this third dimensional 5 sense reality, right? It's fucking crazy. Shit's fucked up. It's sideways. System's broken. It's not broken. It was built that way. It was designed that way. And we can't fix a broken system. We have to not revolt against a broken system. We don't need a revolution. We need an evolution of consciousness, an evolution of understanding, an evolution that Hell, we're all blind bull rats in a third dimensional reality, and we perceive 0.000000000.1% of all the visible light. And there's a whole lot out there that exists that we can't see, smell, touch, taste. But we're on the cusp of being able to explore those things. We just need to put this 5 cents 3D bullshit behind us and come together, all of us, regardless of what you think you know or what you believe or what you've been taught. A lot of that's got to go in the trash for all of us. It's all got to go in the garbage. Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, that's bullshit. Or we could take that garbage, we could bring it out, we could dispute the garbage. Oh, this is how this became that. No, it doesn't matter how it became what it is. It fucking is, and it no longer serves us. No longer serves humanity, doesn't serve the planet. And we're at a point now where, okay, if it doesn't do any of those things, why are we even still fucking with it? Throw it away. Move forward, right? We have the information, the knowledge, and technology to unite everybody, keep everybody on the same page, get everybody up to speed with what is right on the cusp of our technological abilities, right? At the same time, we're fighting over how much melanin we do or do not have. They're throwing quantum computers all around the globe. But what have they told us about quantum computers on the mainstream? Because if you're not plugged into the mainstream, and I think Denzel Washington has the best quote out there about media in the news. He says, and hopefully I don't screw it up. He says, if you watch the news, you're misinformed. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. Nailed it. Yeah. Thank you. And so the news has limited our perceptions and our understanding of the reality that we are currently living in. Unless you go and seek these things, of which now's the time to begin seeking. Lights are on. The lights are on at the library. Every section is open. You are not limited to the kids section and Dewey Decimal. You got every library everywhere on earth and access to all of them. The only thing that is stopping you from going into them is yourself. And when you begin to go seek this information and seek the moldings of reality and how it is and how it came to be, you tie together some very powerful dots that empower you, empower me, empower all of us, and empower us to evolve humanity beyond the piddly bullshit of 5 senses in this third density dimension. Science shows us there are 11 separate dimensions that we can perceive within our minds, and at the same time they tell us we only use 10%. We're fucking stupid. Right? Oh yeah, we're fucking stupid, but look what we discovered. Damn, we're stupid. We're stupid because the mainstream isn't like, that's the profound things that should be coming through, is look what we discovered as humanity. What does this mean that we can perceive these altered dimensions? Why are we building all these quantum computers? What do you mean these quantum computers can access altered dimensions and harvest things and bring them back? It was on the Chelsea Handler show. That's as far as it went in the mainstream. But it's out there. And this is the technology that we've developed, right? At the same time, they want you to send in your DNA for your 23andMe sample. Send it in, find out what countries and what your origins are, right? 99% of your DNA is junk, but 1 gram of it can hold all of the world's digital information in it. 99% is junk, but 1 gram of human DNA can hold all of the world's digital information in it. What else does it hold? What other keys are hidden within us? Not just in our physical beings, so our blood and our DNA, right? What's hidden within our connection to reality that we're in, right? What's the wireless energy force that's sending the consciousness that is us down to our physical beings, giving us this and allowing us this experience, right? These are the things that we need to begin to think of as humanity and begin to perceive of beyond, can I pay my bills? Fuck bills. It's all bullshit. The people who, charge us for our electric bills, Mother Nature doesn't send them a bill for the coal, right? The rivers don't send them a bill for the hydroelectricity, right? But Here we are paying for all this shit. No, if you have a passion for energy and for power, and that's what you want to do, then that's what you go do. If you have a passion for creating music and that's what you want to do, that's what you go do, right? If you have a passion for creating art, for talking to people, for knitting, that's what you do. You came here to live. We came here to live and experience. We didn't come here to suffer and kill each other and lie to each other and manipulate each other for just enough to get by or just a leg up and then eventually fucking die and then leave this experience, go beyond it, where that's a whole nother show in itself, right? Won't even go there. And yet we're not taking advantage of every moment that we have here in the now, right now. And it's being taken away from us through something we can't perceive, right? The invisible virus, the coronavirus. And I'm just going to touch that for a second, because if not, they'll fucking smash me with the algorithms. You believe in God. A lot of people believe in God. Haven't seen God, can't see God, can't visualize God, right? But we know that God exists in some frame or something beyond what we can perceive, right? And yet we're afraid of something that we can't see or perceive, but they're showing us digital images of it and showing us all this false information and manipulating us to drive us at home and separate us and divide us and not unite us. And it's time we become united globally, because this isn't something that just happened in one little spark area and it screwed shit up. This happened on the entire planet, and there are people who are in first world countries that have means and access to all the things that we have here, yet they are in such uncomfortable position through the false authorities that we have created. And they feel powerless to fight against them, because they did it in the Civil War. They've done it in a lot of wars where brothers and sisters, brothers, cousins, they believe different things and they're willing to kill each other over those beliefs. And it's still happening, and it's happening right in front of us right this moment. And we need to put that shit aside, and we need to look to each other for the things that, you know, and I tell this to my wife a lot, who's an amazing reverend. I'm so proud of her. I tell her, focus on people's strengths, not their weaknesses. We've built a society where we compare each other's weaknesses and we don't focus on each other's strengths. And we have to focus on each other's strengths, because all of us has a gift. All of us is a gift. We are all a gift here for each other, and we are all bringing something. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. Take a drink of water. We're amazing. And we have an amazing experience around us. And if you're too busy running around hating somebody because of something they've been told or something you've been told, then you need to stop and smell the fucking roses. Because it's short, it's brief, and now is the fucking time we come together. Oh, I'm sorry to get all emotional. I've been sitting back watching this for years. I've had so many things happen to me and my family. And I know there's a purpose to all of it. For all of us. And it's not misery. It's joy. It's love. It's happiness. It's peace. It's knowing that nobody or anything is going to harm you ever. And the harm that we've created is that it's of our own creation. It's us turning a blind eye to saying, oh, that shit hasn't happened to me. It doesn't exist. It's happening anywhere and everywhere, and it's happened to all of us through a fucking virus that we can't see. And it's nothing to be afraid of. It's about unity. It's about seeing your neighbors as the divine beings that we all are. God, sorry. All of it serves a purpose. From the ant to the vulture to the iceberg, every drop of water, everything here has a purpose. And we've created things that have disillusioned us and taken us away from our humanity, from our civility, and from our unity. And we've turned millions and billions and trillions of dollars over to those things that we've created to fix them. The things that we've created through just turning a blind eye to it. And it's up to each and every one of us to take that back and say enough. No more. No more lies, no more manipulation, no more division. Because nobody deserves it. And it's everywhere. It's in every television show. It's in every movie. It's in every radio broadcast. It's everywhere. It's prevalent. And it needs to stop. If somebody's telling you that somebody out there is your enemy and they look just like you and they bleed just like you, then that is the enemy. The false information is the enemy. You are the I am. I am the I am. Oh, I didn't mean to get all emotional. My hour's up. I'm done talking. What a great show. Thank you for tuning in or tuning in later. Thank you for sharing this. I need a drink of water. There's a lot at stake here. And what's at stake is our freedom. Freedom to go where we want. Freedom to choose what we want. Freedom to do what we want. And those freedoms are going to go away. And nobody's going to give them back to us. No matter what choice we make. Except choosing us. I choose me. I choose you. I choose my neighbors. I choose the people I've never met. I choose the people in the third world countries walking 5 miles just to get water. But in those choices comes responsibility. We all have to become responsible for our thoughts, for our actions, and for our choices. I know there's good. I know there is love. I know there is joy. And sometimes it's okay to cry and let it out because this is affecting all of us. Whether we put on a brave face or not, it's affected everybody. And the sooner we become aware that each and every one of us serves a purpose and that each and every one is the great I am, then we take it back and we move humanity forward. Not through some technological means, not through raising trillions and bazillions of dollars, not going to the moon, harvesting minerals, none of that shit. It all comes down to welcome to Earth. Everything you need is here for you. It is all provided for you by us, and nobody falls below those means. Everybody here is safe. Nobody's going to come and get you. There's no authority or system that can undermine you and take things away because you think this way or you think that way. That's all got to go. And I know we can do it. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in to my first show. And I'll be back next week on October 8th, 2020. And in the meantime, please, whatever you want me to jump on or touch on or look at or talk about, leave in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you very much, guys, and have a great rest of your day.